Opportunities. It is home to people from diverse ethnic, religious and cultural backgrounds, all striving to build a better life. With this vibrant mix of communities and constant inflow of migrants, maintaining peace and harmony among residents is essential to the state's continued growth and progress. You know, it is believed that once you come to Lagos, you will make it. Joining the conversation this morning is Olalekan Oni. He is a public affairs analyst and the CPS Ikeja local government area, to discuss Lagos and peaceful coexistence among residents, and he'll be sharing with us insights on how residents, communities and even the government can work together to strengthen unity and peaceful living in our ever bustling city. You're welcome.
Thank you for having me.
It's good to have you here again. Good morning. Now, like I said in my intro, that Lagos is described as a land of opportunities, and people believe that, oh, once I get to Lagos, I will make it. People believe that you can pick money on the floors of Lagos, you know. But again, that has also given Lagos the room for, you know, for expansion, population growth, and a lot of people are trooping into the state. So if we're talking about peaceful coexistence, taking Lagos in context now, what does that mean to you?
Well, you see, just like I've said in your introduction, we have different kinds of people in Lagos, you know, tribes, tongues, different ethnics. In fact, I doubt if, I think, you know, we used to say that Nigeria has over 200 languages or 200 ethnic groups in Nigeria and all of that, and I doubt if there's any ethnic group in Nigeria
that does not have a
representative in Lagos. And you know, having all of these people with different languages, with different beliefs, with different orientations, with different, you know, backgrounds and all of that, it is essential that, and you know, we can say that Lagos has, you know, enjoyed relative peace and security and all of that, you know, in many years. If you look at the number of the population we have in Lagos compared to the landmass, and look at how crowded Lagos is, for me, Lagos is crowded already, and even as it is, people still come into Lagos on a daily basis from different parts. In fact, it's becoming from different parts of the world now. Even foreign nationals trips into Lagos, opportunities for businesses and all of that. And you know, like I said, relatively we've had this peace and all of that. It means that there's been some peaceful coexistence and understanding between these you know, different tribes and different people and all of that. And what it means is that people have been able to, these millions of people that are residents in Lagos have been able to tolerate themselves, have been able to do businesses within themselves, and have been able to understand, you know, why they are in Lagos, what they are in Lagos to do and all of that. You know, people believe that when you come to Lagos, you are coming to make money. You know, there are diverse opportunities and all of that. So to a very large extent, people have been focused on what they have come to Lagos to do. I think that is what it means, that the peaceful coexistence that we have relatively enjoyed in Lagos, in every part of Lagos and all of that.
Yeah, I like that you have given a broad understanding of this topic. But again, now let's narrow it down. Let's look at some of the factors that has helped Lagos sustain this relatively peaceful coexistence over the years, especially when you have mentioned that we have people from different tribes, religion, and even foreigners are also, we have them here residing here in Lagos. What are some of the factors on the side of the government and even the owners of Lagos, because Lagos indeed belongs to some people?
Yes, you see, number one, for the owners of Lagos, they have been very accommodating. You know, we know in some parts of Nigeria and of the world, we know where owners of the land, you know, how they receive visitors, and the Lagos story has been a very good one, very accommodating. You know, people believe that when they come to Lagos, they make money, and truly, people's stories have changed in Lagos, because the owners, over the years or decades, centuries, have received everybody with a warm hand and all of that. And then the part of the government, largely the Lagos state government have actually invested so much in security, and that's why when you talk about peace, you cannot do away with security. As you know, as bustling as Lagos is, as populated as Lagos is, in Nigeria today, Lagos is still one of the most secure states that anyone can go to in Nigeria today. And because of there's something that is called the conducive environment for businesses, and the government has also provided that. And if you look at, and government has also, been up and doing in the area of, we said that even today, the Lagos population will increase today. In fact, as you are speaking, the population is increasing. And then that means that the government is doing something to ensure that even as people come in, and with the population we have, the existing population, people are still coming in on a daily basis, we still have all of this peace and everything. That means that government is doing something, which is investing in security, ensuring that the business environment is good. People, you can't just do business if the environment is not good for you, and it is part of the government to provide all of that. So majorly, if you look at the system, the security system in Lagos, we still have the Nigeria police not being decentralized yet, but to a very large extent, government has put so much money in security infrastructure, ensuring that the state is very secure to an extent. So government has done their part, and I also believe that the people, the owners of Lagos, are also doing their part to ensure that people are received very well, and they have a peaceful place to stay. We know that there are challenges everywhere, housing challenges, different challenges, infrastructural challenges, because of the high demand and the pressure on the infrastructure in Lagos and all of that. But to a very large extent, the government has done well. The owners of Lagos has also, they are commendable. What they have done is commendable.
All right, let's also look at the role of community leaders and even the local government now, because if you're to divide Lagos, it's divided into 57 local councils, all over the state. And then you are from the Ikeja division, Ikeja local government area rather. And so let's look at the role of let's start with the local government before we come into the community leaders now. What are the initiatives that the local council chairman, the council authorities are, engaging in to ensure that you still have peaceful coexistence? Because all these people coming in, they all fit into all these local councils.
Well, for the local government chairman, the 20 local government chairman and the 37 LCDs chairman, I see that, I usually say that if you look at the local government administration and system in Nigeria, Lagos still ranks the #1 in Nigeria. What we have in Lagos is a top-notch higher than what is obtainable in other states. And that is, the administration and ensuring that, and the reason is because, we've spoken about this financial autonomy for local governments and all of that. The reason is because Lagos state government has the money for the local government is getting to the local government, and the chairman are using it to work. And so receiving all of this, putting all of this together in the coexistence within the community and all of that, the local government is also playing its role, which is part of that role is security, providing infrastructure. When we talk about infrastructure, we talk about roads, we talk about drainages, we also talk about school, we also talk about primary health care and all of that. So, and this is why it is not just the state government. Almost all of the roles the state government is playing, the local government are also playing their role, and that has also helped, in coexistence and cohabiting within the community, within the local government. So all of these roles I have mentioned in the area of health. What you have is that, for example, in Lagos, almost every political ward has a primary healthcare center where people can go to at least receive some medical attentions and all of that. And also, if you look at the area of education, because you don't have a community, you don't have a society without all of these things. Imagine you have a community where there is no healthcare center, primary healthcare center, no school and all of that. And so
no market
and all of that. So, and roads even within the streets and all of that. So all of these roles that the local government are playing has also contributed, to a peaceful coexistence within the community, within the local government. And so that's the role. And like I said, you don't have it elsewhere. Mostly elsewhere, most of the states in Nigeria don't have a very functional local government administration, local government system. And this has also, and because Lagos has all of these things, it has also helped. And with the population and all of that, you enter into a community And if you do head count or you do population census, you see hundreds of thousands of people living within a community. Imagine if you don't have a good drainage system, for example, within that community, there can be outbreak of diseases and so many other things. You go into primary schools which are under the purview of the local government administration, you still see good primary schools in Nigeria. In fact, there are some primary healthcare centers in Lagos State, built by local government or LCD, that is far better than some states hospitals in some states. I can mention. So because of all of this, it has really helped Lagos, people, no matter the population, it has really helped, and this is one of the things that's actually contributing to what we are discussing this morning.
And again, because we have diverse ethnic groups here in Lagos again, and I said that they reside in this local government. So is there an avenue where the council authorities, gather the people together to get insights from them, to get information on how best to, be of service, better service to them, even the fact that they are not Lagosians? Yes.
In fact, one of the major stakeholders that the local government recognizes in Lagos is the CDA or the CDCs. No local government in Lagos State or LCD in Lagos State that does not recognize. In fact, they see them as a major stakeholder. The local government LCDs in Lagos State holds a monthly security and peace meeting, and part of that security or peace meeting is the CDC head in each local government. They're part of the committee of the peace and security. I also know that I'm of the opinion that every local government or LCD in Lagos State, when they are preparing their budget, their annual budget, they include the CDAs and the CDC as a stakeholder to come and say, what they need in their community. So that system has been on for a long time, and that has, contributed to how the Lagos State local government or the LCD runs its administration day to day. So they actually don't joke with it. If you also look at the system in Lagos, for example, there is a week they call the Community Week or Community Day. I think the one for the 2025 is coming, so maybe next week or so. And the reasons why they do all of this is because Lagos has come to understand that. And when you talk about the CDA or CDCs or landlord associations in Lagos, you are not talking of only, the Yoruba people or the owners of Lagos. You're talking about every ethnic represented in Lagos, whether you are Hausa or Ibibio or Igbo or whoever you are. As long as you reside in that community, you are part of either the CDA or the landlord association or the CDC. And so in some areas you still have even other ethnic group that heads either the CDAs or the CDCs. And so Lagos has ensured that everybody is carried along. No ethnic discrimination or no tribal discrimination. And for me, this has actually helped the coexistence in Lagos, because Lagos believes that, or the local government or the state government believes that, in fact, if you look at it from the return of democracy since 1999, it is in Lagos that you have people who are of other ethnic group that holds positions. Because I
was going to ask that how inclusive is participation in governance here in Lagos when it has to do with other ethnic groups.
Yes, and even for this local government we're talking about, the coexistence, I said, if you look at the CDAs or the CDCs in some areas, you still have other ethnic groups who belongs to the CDA, who are one of the CDAs or everything. If you look at the political settings in Lagos, if you look at the executives from the ward or zona or LGA, you still have other ethnic group members who are part of the executives of, and so this has really helped. This inclusive thing. People don't see themselves as aliens, as strangers. Lagos has ensured that everybody comes together for the peaceful coexistence, in the communities and in the state.
I like that you talked about the CDCs and the CDAs now, moving away from the government. Now the CDAs and CDCs are representatives of the people in the community. What are their roles in ensuring that they continue to uphold peaceful coexistence in their domains?
You know that when you talk about the government, for example, the CDAs and the CDs are the community people themselves. to a very large extent, what CDS or CDC means is that the house owners in the particular communities, I think they graduated from landlord association now to CDA. So, and some areas, you don't only have the landlords, owners of the houses or buildings within the community. You still have tenants who are part of them, but largely people you have in the CDAs are people who resides in the community. And I also want to believe that every sane person wants peace in their community. So one of their rules is that to ensure that our areas or our community or their streets are secured. And that's where you have CDAs or CDCs or landlord association taking up some, projects within their community, within their streets. We've seen where the CDAs or the landlord associations erect gates at the beginning and the end of their streets. Some of them even employ security guards to man their streets and just ensure that, and some even do environmental sanitations within their communities and all of that. So playing all of this shows that they also are the stakeholders, because they are the ones staying in the community. If anything happens, they are the first, to bear the consequences of whatever happens. If there's any disease outbreak, if there's any insecurity, if there's any theft or whatever happens, they are the one that will bear the consequences first. And because the government has given them a real sense of belonging in Lagos State, either the state government or the local government have given them a real sense of belonging in Lagos State, they have also seen that they are the major stakeholders. And the government has made them to understand, just like I said, that the first person to even bear the consequences, before you even call either your councillors or your chairman or the state governor, you are the first to receive the consequences. And so they have to protect their community first. They have to ensure that their community is clean. And I've seen that to a very large extent, the Community Development Association, they are doing all of these things.
If you ask for some people, to break down the main tribes that we have in Nigeria, they will say Hausa, Yoruba, and Igbo.
Yes.
But of course there are other tribes within. So, but for us here in Lagos, so if you break it down again, we have the Arewa community, we have the Ndibo community, and of course the Yoruba community. How would you also rate the level of peaceful coexistence amongst these communities in Lagos?
Well, to a very large extent, and to my own understanding, it's been a very good cordial relationship, which has led to, I don't think that maybe once in a while we used to hear some clash between either the Yoruba and the Hausa community or the Yoruba, but to a very large extent it has been a very cordial relationship. They've cohabit with themselves, they've tolerated themselves to a very large extent. Maybe sometimes when the election is around the corner, that's when we see that there are clashes about this tribe is not voting, this tribe is saying that they want to take over. But I also believe that those are just pockets they are not something that is very serious, and it has really not been prevalent among. For me, it's only election time. You go to places, you see Igbos and Yoruba transacting businesses together. An Igbo man has a business, Yoruba is patronizing, and even in the market, everybody is just doing their businesses and all of that. And so, to a very large extent, I believe that the Hausas have their own businesses, things they sell, where they sell, and all of that. Yorubas patronize them, Igbos patronize them, and vice versa. And so, because they've been able to do businesses together, they've been able you see on the street whereby you have maybe the street name is an Igbo name. Yoruba people stay there. You cannot say that because it's an Igbo name, I'm not staying there. So to a very large extent, I believe that it has been a very good cordial relationship, and they've existed among them peacefully.
Riding on the last point you raised about when it's election time, you begin to see snippets of all these things. Let's talk about some of the common causes of disputes or things that could, erupt tension among residents, and how they can be mitigated.
Well, like I said, one of the things I said was that we used to have these experiences during election time. And
now that 2027 is around the corner.
And by next year, it will be around the corner by next
It's already around the corner, according to some.
And so, you know, one of the things is that if you look at the last election, if you look at the pattern, some, you know, you have one of the candidates who is arguably, you know, people say it's an Igbo guy from the Labour Party and all of that. And so, and we've had statements that Lagos is a no man's land. We've also had statements that Igbos will take over Lagos and all of that. It's some of this statement that has caused some uproar. You know, at the beginning we said that Lagos belongs to some people.
Yeah.
You know, there are owners of Lagos, and that's true. The word Lagos is maybe an English word. The Yoruba word is Eko. You know, so when you have all of this, and there's history. So it is because some people are just overzealous. That's the word I'll use. So you came to meet some people here, and so it is not possible to say that Lagos is a no man's land. And one of the things I think that has led to that statement is because of the accommodating spirit, you know, the tolerant spirit of the owners of Lagos. But I also believe that there are people among this, you know, tribe who are their tribesmen who have always corrected them to say that. And so, and if you look at it, after elections, you don't really hear about all of these things again. After elections, if you say Lagos is no man's land, you are buying the land from some people. So why don't you just take over the land and say, I'm not paying? So, but we see that all of these things happens. Even religion doesn't divide Lagosians. It's just about politics and all of that. And after all of these things, once politics is gone, people will return to their normal self. And for me, I think that going forward, some people should just accept that Lagos belongs to some people, and then the peaceful coexistence continues.
All right, let's also talk about social media now, because we are in the social media age, and of course we have a lot of young people on social media who you see a lot of people just, you know, churn out their own opinions without really getting facts, you know. And so if we're talking about peaceful coexistence as well, especially during elections, as you said, that is when we begin to hear little things like this. What are you expecting of young people? You know, what are you expecting of them, especially when it has to do with peaceful coexistence and the use of social media for the right reasons?
I strongly am an advocate of the fact that governments should actually
regulate,
you know, regularize social media. There should be a control. One of the problems we are having is that, you know, because there's no control and there's an abuse, a whole lot of abuse on social media. So if you look at majority of all of these little chaos we usually have during elections, you will notice that it usually starts from social media. In fact, the hits we usually have on social media that usually affect or threatens, you know, the peace and the peaceful coexistence we usually have, we have in Lagos, usually starts on social media. So people make statements, and when people tell you that Lagos is no man's land, if you look at it very well, this thing starts on social media. Because at the end of the day, I see that, I tell people that the issues we have, the conflicts we have, the tribal conflicts we used to have on social media, people still go to the market and patronize an Igbo man. And when they get there, the Igbo man will not say that we own this place. People still stay within the communities and still sit down, watch football together, talk, play together and all of that. So for me, I think there should be the government should regulate social media. I'm not saying that freedom of information or expression should be stifled, but there should be a limitation to or what people can say, especially when it's going to lead to conflicts and, you know, security issues and all of that. I also want to advise young people that they should be a good student of history. You know, when you know history, when you know what history has said, how Lagos came into being, how Lagos was developed, you will understand that some of these things they say they're not just the reality. We've heard stories that the reason why Lagos is developed is because it was a former capital. Ask them how Lagos was before 1999. So if people have an idea of history, they won't just say whatever. When the Lagos ceased to be the federal capital territory, maybe I think 1901 or so. And so if you look at the years from then till now, there have been improvements. There have been serious developments. And so Lagos, I think, is the 5th largest economy. Which number was Lagos then, while it was the capital of Nigeria? So people need to pay attention to history. When you read history, it helps you, it informs you about developments and all of that. And so for me, there should be a regulation of social media to avoid all of this chaos that we used to experience and all of that.
Taking it from another side now, communication is also important, because on the part of the government, expressing or letting the people know this is where we are at this time. That how important is that to also strengthen peaceful coexistence in the society?
Well, for us, for the government, I believe that there should be an orientation, maybe from the side of the government, and let people know that while Lagos belongs to some people, Lagos is ready to receive everybody as it has been receiving everybody. Everybody you can do your business, you can live within the people, you can go about your businesses peacefully. But I think that it is important that the government also says that this place belongs to some people, and those people must be respected. For me, I think it's important that when it comes from the side of the government, I believe that because government has all the resources, all the apparatus to pass this message across in a friendly way. And when we have all of this and it comes like a regular information and all of that, it will help some people to at least to curb their excesses. Because some of these things, that if you can do your businesses, if you are free, if you are making the money, just make your money and move on. You don't have to drag anything with anybody. You don't have to share any propaganda. We've seen there's this issue that happened like 3 or 4 weeks ago in the First Tank, a demolition that happened in First Tank. You know, the way it was presented was as if Lagos is trying to, chase away some people and all of that. And then I was happy to see that the same tribesmen from First Act said that there have been notice of demolition 3 years ago, and they keep coming back to put this notice. But those people feel that they won't come and demolish and all of that. So it is very important that this orientation goes out from the government using all of their mediums to pass this message across, to say that see, Lagos state government or Lagos remains a land of opportunities where you can come and do your businesses, but it belongs to some people.
Finally, as we bring this to a close now, your final message to Lagosians in ensuring that unity, peace is sustained in the state so that everyone can thrive.
Well, let's continue to be our brother's keeper. Like we have all said, Lagos belongs to some people, but Lagos is ready to accommodate everybody for a peaceful coexistence.
All right, Lagos belongs to some people, and it will continue to accommodate all for a peaceful coexistence. And of course, that's the foundation upon which any city will thrive. We must thank you again, Olalekan Oni, for your time here in the conversation. We've been talking about Lagos and peaceful coexistence among residents. He is a public affairs analyst and the chief press secretary, Ikeja local government area. Thank you again.
Thank you too.
All right, the program continues shortly. Stay with us.
Sleeping under the bridge in Obalende. I was living with an uncle, but later I was asked to leave the house, so I have to just start living under the bridge in Obalende. It was then fun. We were many under the bridge, working as a security guy. In the morning, we take our bait and then we go. And come back again late at night, 11, 12 a.m. to sleep under the bridge. Sometimes people come in there to harass us, taking our phones, our wallets, and the little money that we have on us are stolen many times. It has happened. But today, we thank God for where God has brought us. It's a wonderful experience. Lagos is a nice place to be. I'm happy to be here.